So we're back working on the Veloster. About to drop the skid plate.
Oh wow.
Well, time to start building the head. I'm gonna build the engine first and then pull it out of the car. Just make it almost like a lung block. So, brand new head. Got valves, intake valves, exhaust valves, springs, a bunch of random parts. Of course, everything right there in that pile is all. Well, slight change of panel ends. Realized I do have to remove this motor first to get some of the parts I'm gonna have to transfer over to the new engine. Yay me. So I'm gonna get this engine pulled out, probably pull it out the front clip area and see how that goes. Other than that, I'll drop it out the bottom, but I really don't like that either, so. Getting the Freon drained. I really hate this new machine. 123YF. It takes forever to remove Freon and to refill. So yeah, start with that and just slowly get it all done. Well, got the front clip off on this Veloster. They screwed that starter up bad. Now you can really see up dirty and close of the carnage. Part of the starter's still in the hole even.
I'm still astonished at the amount of oil everywhere.
That's the tip of the starter. So, yeah, we got part of the connecting rod, part of the block, and go down to my metal collection down there. Cracked. Yeah, this is gonna be one fun engine to rebuild. And it's warranty, so I'm gonna lose my ass. But it is what it is. There's even metal behind the bracket. That's straight carnage. Well, day one is complete. Got decent. I'm gonna have to pull the frame just to get more bolts. And it's gonna come out the bottom and sort of forward and bottom. Engine and tranny together. Yeah, there's a lot more damage wait to be seen. So there it is. Well, I ended up getting the Veloster engine out first thing in the morning when I got back to work the next day. So yeah, ended up basically dropping it out from the bottom. I did have to pull the frame out, but I guess it was a good thing that I did remove the front clip because I do have to replace the intercooler and the radiator because of the metal debris. Punctured a hole through the radiator. So yeah, definitely out. And then time to start removing everything and getting the engine and down to its bare bones and separating the transmission. So I'll keep you guys on this journey. So my first step in all this, I'm gonna remove this harness, get the harness and intake off, and then have fun with the turbo side. They definitely made this one a lot different than a lot of their other 2-liter turbos. So yeah, it'll be definitely a learning experience. I've never actually took one of these engines apart to rebuild it. So this is the first one that my shop has seen. So it's gonna be a work in progress. Well, I got the main harness off the engine. So, and I end up getting the intake off. So yeah, there's definitely metal contamination in the intake runners. And so that basically leads to me that I have to definitely replace the head, as we can definitely get up and personal. The crank's right there. It fucked. Finding definitely more and more contaminations. There's up close person of the front of the starter that's jammed in by the flywheel. Yeah. Well, I got the entire front torn apart of it. There's nothing in the way. It's definitely pretty bad. You can actually see almost right through the engine in the eye. They even cracked that completely. So yeah. Next, I'm gonna work on getting the turbo fuckery off. It's definitely a lot of heat shields and everything to block everything, but I will be getting it off, so I'll make an update once I get that off, and then I'll get the limited slip differential off with the axle and stuff like that, and separate the engine from the transmission. So I'll make an update once I can get the turbo off and show you the turbo as much as I can see from the turbo. Well, I got the turbo off and then exhaust off. Didn't realize it was a little TD04 turbo, but yeah. So on the back of the block, there's definitely the hole. Goes straight through. So next I'm gonna be removing is the transmission from the engine and putting the transmission on the ground to start tearing down the engine. Well, we're a little ahead. They're pulling off the valve cover, the pressure fuel pump, and all that stuff. So yeah, we're definitely getting close to getting the head off. Next, I'm gonna pull off the timing cover and all the components there and get the head off for you guys to see damage hit the head. Well, got the timing cover off. Now I'm gonna pull and oil pan off. Definitely a lot of metal contaminations in the oil pan. I'm gonna pull off all of the timing stuff and the cams so I can get the head off. So I'll do an update video once I can get the cams off and where I get the heads off. Well, on this Veloster, I just got all the head bolts out of the engine. Now let's see what full carnage is caused. So there's your head carnage. Cylinder 4 gone. Missing valves, busted off valves, part of the spark plugs busted out. Also, cylinder 3, looks like the valves lifted. And cylinder 1. So this guy definitely played foobar. As for cylinder 4 piston is non-existent. So yeah, that'll conclude the teardown of the Veloster N. The next video will be of the rebuild process of the Veloster N. I gotta pull out all the valves, the keepers, because I have to keep the spring keepers. But other than that, it's getting all new valves, head, everything. So Definitely carnage though. And definitely it was suspected straight racing. Fourth to third or second gear downshift, sixth to fourth, maybe third. Is definitely because this car has rev matching, so that's definitely one of those things of the rev match. So definitely have the whole front end torn apart, and it's definitely doing it. So probably the next episode will be fully building the engine and then getting it back in the car and doing the first startup. So nothing, we're keeping pretty much nothing from the block. It's all getting brand new, everything. 14,000 miles. That's what happens.